Hi, I'm Michael Pilarski, and I'm here to give a plug for permaculture. What is permaculture? It's the design of sustainable human habitats. It's the design of a world that gets richer and richer in terms of biomass, life, biodiversity, healthy forests, rivers, waters, etc. And why should you be concerned about permaculture? Because every human on Earth is drawing on the Earth's resources, and we all have to give back in some way. Everybody owes a debt, so to speak, and so we all have to do something to help the Earth. And one way to do that is to reduce your dependency on outside inputs that come from around the globe and take a lot of energy. So the more you can grow your own food, build your own houses, create your own medicines, take care of your own needs, the less of a draw you are on the earth. So that's one of the reasons that you learn permaculture, so that you can become more productive. The other reason that you learn permaculture is because it teaches you skills to how to give back, how to plant trees in a good design, how to take care of the environment, how to repair ecosystems, how to help produce healthy ecologies where you live. So permaculture is a way of learning how to give back to the earth. And if you become good at permaculture, you will become more productive in a more well-rounded way. You will require less dependence on outside inputs, and so you'll be less vulnerable. We live in a time of great centralization of power and economies and governments. The scales are really big, and the possibilities of problems are increased as the system becomes more complex. So it's really good to learn how to do simple things that will produce the things you need close by using local resources, and so permaculture is really good at this. I'd like to promote a couple of books at this point, and I don't have them to hold up in front of you, but one is a book called Growing Food in a Hotter, Drier Land by Gary Nabhan. Just came out this year, 2013, brand new book, hot off the presses. And his thesis in this book is, how do we grow food in a changing climate where the climate extremes are higher, and in particular, how do we do it in the arid and semi-arid so-called desert regions of the world? Now, Gary lives in Arizona and New Mexico and works a lot in northern Mexico as well. But he's traveled around the world to some of the driest parts of the world and see how people can produce food when things are really hot. And a lot of the world is getting hotter and drier, and so this is a very useful book for people that live in those areas. But it's a template for a book on how do you produce food in any particular climate when the climates are becoming more extreme. Permaculture helps you design systems no matter which way the weathers or climates change. You become more adaptable, your systems become more adaptable, your plantings become more adaptable, because you're, in a sense, hedging your bets. So this is a good book, and Gary talks a lot about permaculture in it. Another book, somewhat along these lines, is a bit older. It's a book called Gardening When It Counts, or Growing Food in Hard Times, by a man named Steve Solomon. Now, this is probably a 12-year-old book. It's been a while. But he saw the handwriting on the wall a long time ago and left the U.S. and moved to Tasmania. And his thesis in this book is that it's going to become more important that people grow their own food. And how do we do it with low inputs in a local system way? And so his book is really good on what hand tools do you need, how can you grow gardens without using watering systems, even in pretty dry areas, and how can you do it yourself. Now, Steve is not so much a fan of permaculture. In fact, he actually, you might say, pokes at permaculture. but we use his work, or I use his work nonetheless. I draw on the learning and the knowledge and the skills of people in many, many disciplines. And so permaculture draw is interdisciplinary. So I can pull things from Steve Solomon, from Gary Nabhan, or from hundreds and thousands of other authors. So permaculture is a well-rounded way of learning how to exist in a changing climate, in a changing social systems, and in changing economic systems, and coming out looking good, because it's good to hedge your bets. And if you're hedging your bets, permaculture is probably one of the best investments you can make.